Welcome to the Kennedy Report. I'm Kennedy Hall. Okay, the Pope is going to consecrate Russia and Ukraine to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, along with all the bishops of the world, sounding a lot like what Our Lady asked for, isn't it? But there's one bugaboo, isn't there? He's going to say Ukraine, as well as Russia. Some people think that's going to invalidate it. Personally, I don't. But let's just contend with some of these issues to see if it makes any sense. Does it matter if the Pope says Ukraine as well as Russia? Well, some people will say this. They'll say, well, it does matter because Our Lady asked for just Russia. A response to that would be something like, she did ask for Russia to be named specifically, but it also wasn't stipulated that you couldn't say Russia and something else. Now, someone will say to me, well, that's disobeying Our Lady. Well, let's just think about that for just a second here. If you're a parent, you're watching this or listening to this. If you asked your children to clean their room, and you said, I'm going to leave. When I get home, I want your room to be clean. And you came home and they didn't clean their room, but they cleaned the attic. You might be happy that they cleaned the attic. It was dirty. It's clean. But you would say, you disobeyed me, or you didn't do what I asked. That's what's happened in the past with the consecration of the world, for example. The consecration of the world is a good thing, but it's just not what Our Lady asked. So it's an act of disobedience. It could be. Could be seen that way. But if you said, I want you to clean your room, and you left, and you came back, and they cleaned their room, and they cleaned the attic, and they did the laundry, would you be mad? I mean, it's a real thing to consider. Would you be angry if that were the case? I wouldn't. Especially if the intention was there. I mean, we have to assume God knows our hearts. Russia and Ukraine are in a major crisis right now, and perhaps the Pope has had some sort of illumination of grace and has recognized that this thing just hasn't been done, and we're in a terrible state. Who knows? He's the Pope. I don't know what the Pope thinks. Maybe he's thinking we should cover our bases here. Russia, but, Ukraine's in a bad way. Let's just throw them in there to be safe. I'm just saying that's a possibility. One more thing, too. In 1917, this was before the revolution in Russia, we had the Russian Empire. Look at a map of Ukraine and Russia at that time. Looks like the same country. 1929, when Our Lady comes to Tui in Spain, talks to Sister Lucy. That's after the revolution. We have the USSR. Look at a map. What's part of Russia? Ukraine. Look at a map today. Look at the fighting that's going on. How many millions, about half the country or so, of Ukrainian nationals consider themselves to be Russians? Look at the history of Russia. We have the Kiev Rus, whatever it's called, Kievo-Rus. Sorry for my historians, I'm getting it wrong. The Ukrainian nation essentially is the mother of the Russian nation. We see that nation Christianized and built up first. It's in some ways an inseparable people, as much as that is difficult to say and all the problem. But I'm saying that's the historical thing. If you had have said consecrate Russia in 1930, you would have been thinking about an area that included Ukraine. I'm not saying any of this is dogma. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just saying it's something to think about. So, does it matter if the Pope says Ukraine alongside Russia? Personally, I don't think it makes it any worse. I guess we'll see March 25th and what the effects will be thereafter. Do your first Saturday devotions. Pray the rosary, fast, do penance. We're still in Lent. And if you've liked this video, like and subscribe to this video. Go to thekennedyreport.com. And please donate if you could to help us do this. We're trying to build some new things and do some more here. $5, $10, every little bit helps. Lots of ways to donate. Go to thekennedyreport.com. And until next time, God bless.